Greetings to all. Welcome to the lecture session R language. In our previous class, we have discussed about functions, how to create functions in R language. In today's lecture, we will discuss data structures in R language. So those are the data structures available in R language: vector, list, array, matrix, data frame. We will cover one by one in each lecture. In today's lecture, we will at the end of this lecture we will come to know that what is data structure and what is vector. So, definition of data structure: a data structure is a way to store and organize data so that it can be accessed and used efficiently. We need to organize the data to access within a short time. So that is called efficient access is possible by having a good data structures. In today's lecture, we will know what is vector. Basically, in our language, vectors are two types. One is atomic vector and another one is generic vector. So that generic vector is also called as list. We have a drawback in atomic vector. By overcoming the drawback, the list came into existence. So generic vector is also called as list. In today's lecture, we will know what is atomic vector. So vector or atomic vector: a sequence of elements which share the same data type is known as vector. So in our previous classes, we have an idea what are the data types available in our language: logical, integer, double, character, complex, and one more thing is raw data type. I think all you people know that the definition for array. Array is also sequence of elements. Sequence means one by one, one by one, one by one. Sequence of elements which share same data type. In array also we have same data type is known as vector. In the case of our language, the one-dimensional array is called as vector. So sequence means not in scattered manner. While allocating the memory in the system, the memory should be in a continuous order, sequence order. So this is called a vector in our language. As per the definition, sequence of elements which have the same data type. If you wanted to create a vector, you can create only logical vector or only integer vector, only character vector, or only raw data type vector. You cannot create a vector that contains integer, logical, character, raw. So this is the drawback in atomic vector, so that we will overcome it in coming data structure that is called list. So we will go into the practical session. Before that, in our previous classes we have discussed a function called class, class. So what is the use of class? A class is a function to know the data type of a variable. If you wanted to know a variable data type, you can use a function class. So as per the array, we can say that the length of the array is nothing but number of elements presented in the array. Likewise, the length of the vector is nothing but number of elements available in a vector. Those vectors elements must be in sequential order, right? Okay. So how to create a vector? We will go into the practical session. I will open my R environment. Here I am opening my R environment. So to create a vector, we have a function called C. C means C stands for combine. The function C stands for combine. We use C function to create a vector. This function returns a one-dimensional array. Note it down. It is the one-dimensional array or simply a vector. The C function, also called as combined function. Combine. It will combine anything. It will combine two vectors. It will combine two matrices. It will combine two arrays. Whatnot. It combine anything. So it combine sequence of values to make a vector. The C function is a generic function which combines its arguments. All arguments are restricted with a common data type. This is the important point in a vector. They are restricted with a common data type, which is the type of the returned value, right? So we will create a vector using function C. In vectors, in atomic vector, as I told you at the start of this lecture, there is only one data type values present in the vector. So if I wanted to create a vector, I can create only the logical vector, I can create only the character vector, I can create only the raw data vector. So now I will create a vector that is named as numeric vector. What are the numeric data? What is numeric data type? The decimal values are known as numeric data types in R, right? In data type section, in data types class, I think we have discussed, right? The values, the decimal values are known as numeric data type. And if you want to make any non-fractional number as integer, we should not forget that capital L should be added to the number, right? So that will be an integer. Numeric vector. How to create a numeric vector? And first we will use the function C, combined function C. I'm creating a numeric vector x, and I'm using a function C to combine the values of 10.1, 20.2, 30.3, right? So C function, what the C function will do, it will combine the values supplied as an arguments, and all the arguments are restricted to same data type. Here you can see 10.1, 20.2, 30.3 are the arguments, and they are restricted to same data type. And what function C will do, it will combine and it will make all the values as a vector, and these are the decimal values, so that this decimal values are numeric in our language, right? So I'm printing x. So x contains 10.1, 20.2, 30.3. Basically, they are individual values. After using C function on the three values, they are combinedly stored in a variable called x. That x is atomic vector. If you wanted to know the data type of vector, you can use class, right? Class of x, that is numeric. So this is the numeric vector, and another vector is integer vector, right? How to create an integer vector? A non-fraction numeric value is known as integer data. The integer data is represented by int data type. The int size is 2 bytes and long int size is 4 bytes. There is two ways to assign an integer value to a variable. We will see. I am taking another variable y is equal to, I am assigning, that is the assignment operator in our language, y is equal to 5 capital L. If I place L there, what it means? L is indication of integer. So I will see class of y. So y is an integer. What is the value presented in the y means 5. So using C function, we can create integer vector, right? Integer vector. I am restricting the data in the vector, in this case as integer. Class of y. Sorry, I wanted to typecast it, right? I haven't placed L there. 1L, 2L, 3L, right? So I wanted to typecast. So for typecast, I think I have already given how to typecast anything in our language. Once again, I will repeat that. There are two functions in our language. There are two functions in our language. One is and another one is as. So is dot, as dot, is dot integer, or is dot character, or etc. is that it will result whether the value presented in that particular variable is integer or not, character or not. It will give true or false. If you wanted to typecast anything, if I wanted to typecast a character into vector, so if I wanted to typecast a character into integer, so as that integer, we need to pass character variable here. Automatically that character variable will be typecasted into integer. So if you can typecast from any data type to any data type, you can convert numeric to integer, integer to numeric, character to integer, character to numeric. Okay, so in this case I forgot to typecast, so I will do it now. So y is numeric now, right? With the values, I wanted to print the values in 1, 2, 3. So as dot integer of y. I am assigning this result again to y, or you can use another variable also, that is not at all a problem. So now I wanted to check the data type of y again. Here you can see when I print y before typecasting, the data type is numeric. After typecasting, the data type is integer. So you can create a character vector also. Like this, you can create a character vector also. You can convert this integer vector into character y as that character of y, right? Now that integer will be converted into character. See, the values are quoted in double quotes, right? Class of y. Now the data type is character. So like this you can create a logical vector also, and without using, how to create a vector without using C function. Is there any way to create a vector without using C function? Yes, there is a way to create a vector without using combine function. The only thing that we should know is the vector must contain a sequence of values. So in our language there are two functions to supply sequence of values. One is range function. Range means column. So if I wanted to create a vector z, so I will use a range function. See this, 4 colon is the range function, 4 to 10, enter. Now z contains from 4 to 10 values. This is also a vector. So using range function, range means colon function, you can create a vector without the support of combine function. And another function is sequence. We can create a vector with the help of the sequence function. A sequence function creates a sequence of elements as vector. The sequence function used in two ways, by setting step by step increment, or you can pass question mark by parameters or specify the length of the vector with the length dot out feature. So we will see it in practical. Again I'm taking no, not z, I am taking a variable called a. So I am using a function seq. The syntax of seq is, you need to mention data range 1 comma 10, and the third parameter is by or length dot out. There are two parameters there, by 2. So will anybody tell me how many values will be present in the vector A? So by is a key or a hint for you people to identify how many values will be presented in A. So I am printing A here. How many values? 5 values. Why? So I have given a difference for each value from 1 to 10. The difference is 2. 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 2, 7, 7 plus 2, 9. So the range is up to 10. Sequence function. This is the syntax of sequence function with a parameter by. There is another way, another parameter also, that is length dot out. So we will create the variable B, sequence of 1 to 5. So I am deciding the length of the vector before creating the vector. So length dot out. I wanted my vector should be in a size 10. So what it will do? So it has to be maintain 10 elements in the vector, so that, but I have given 1 to 5 elements only. It will divide 5 elements into 10. I'm printing B here. See, 1, 2, 3. This is the 9th element and this is the 10th element. 5, 1 to 5. It has taken the adding value dynamically by mentioning the size. Okay, I think it is clear. There is a, I'll give you syntax. The syntax is, sequence function syntax is sequence SUQ start value comma end value comma by or length dot out. So using by, you can instruct the sequence function that the start and end values must maintain a difference of by. By using length dot out, you can instruct the sequence function that I want this much of length in my vector. This is the syntax of sequence function. So these are the ways to create vector, atomic vector, right? Atomic vector without the support of what? C function. So, and another question is how to access um, elements of a vector. So here we can access the elements of vector with the help of vector indexing. As I told you, vector is nothing but one-dimensional array, right? An array must contain what? Index. But here the index will starts from 1, not from the 0. So we will see how to access in a practical manner. So here you can see that in our program we have created vectors right here. So many vectors we have created. A is a vector, B is a vector, Z is a vector. So if I wanted to access a value 9 from a vector A, so with the indexing operator, it is possible. 1 2 3 4 5. What is the index of last index? 5, right? So A of 5 is 9. In a simple and easy manner, you can access a one-dimensional called vector elements using indexing operator. Nice, right? So what are the operations to perform on vector? So we can perform combine operation, we can perform arithmetic operations in vector. So not only arithmetic operations, we can perform logical index vector operations. So we will see combine operation in vector. I have two vectors here. One is Z and another one is A. If I wanted to combine those vectors, what is the function to combine? C is the function to combine. So it will combine vectors also. It not only it will combine, it is not restricted to combine only values. It has wide range of access. It can combine vectors, it can combine vector or a matrix, it can combine vector or another vector. array to another array. Okay, right? So here I wanted to combine uh, my vector z and vector a. So after combining two vectors, I will get a new vector, right? New vec, new vector is equal to combining z comma a. What are the values in z? 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. What are the values in a? 1 3 5 7 9. Enter. New vac. These are the values after combining two vectors. This is the combine operation. You can see value 7 and 7. Okay, this is the z value and these are the a values, right? Both are combined together. You can perform arithmetic operations also, plus, minus, division, multiplication, right? See, I will do a plus b, a plus z, no, longer object long. So I will take some little control L, C of 1357 5 comma 7 and B C of 2468. So write a plus b, a minus b, a by b, a divided by b, right? These are the arithmetic operations that we can perform in atomic vector. So I think all you people clear about atomic vector, right? So atomic vector is nothing but a one-dimensional array, right? A one-dimensional array. We can create that one-dimensional array with the support of function C. C stands for combine function, and with the combine function we can combine values into a single value, and using combine function we can combine two vectors, two arrays also. To access values or elements in a vector, we will use index operator. Index operator is nothing but this is the index operator. Index operator. So with index values, and vector was restricted to only to store one type of data. So this is all about the vectors. Thank you. If you people are having any doubt regarding the vector, feel free to comment below.